What is going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Max Tech Motorsports. Here again with another video, continuing on 1990 Volvo 760 station wagon, the LS CD09 swap drift car that we're gonna attempt to build. Might take me a while, but we're gonna get it done at some point. But yeah, as you guys saw last video, we ended it in the dark. Took the two seats out, and again, now that the light is out here, you guys can see all the crap that is in here. McDonald's fries, that's disgusting. That looks like some sort of acorn or a mushroom. Not sure. There's a penny, like a legit, like Canadian penny. That's actually pretty rare. Well, I guess so, but yeah. And again, moving on, we're gonna try to get this dashboard out. I probably won't be able to get it all done today, but I'm going to try to get as much as I can. Steering wheel I'm going to take off next, but first, I really need to vacuum this out because I'm going to be working in this spot, and with all the mouse crap that's in here and all the gunk and stuff like that, I really don't feel like smelling like it anymore. Really, it's so annoying for sure when you're building these old cars, but that's what makes it fun, right? So, yeah, I'm going to go grab the vacuum. That's the window for that Lexan glass. Again, that's a better view of it. You guys can see the difference there. Gonna get that out of the way, toss in the back, vacuum all this up, and then we'll work on getting the steering wheel out. And then I think at that point too, I can try to get these like radios and the whole HVAC controls, maybe the air vents here as well too, and try to go piece by piece, I guess, with taking off this dash. Never done one before on this car. Usually they're all a pain to do. You got your basic 10mm bolts as you go along, but there's always some stuff hidden. So yeah, let's attack it now, guys. Well, there you go. I mean, yeah, definitely stained up pretty bad. Not sure what I'm gonna do with the carpets anyways. I might take them all out. Again, I'm kind of afraid to look at the floor on that side especially, but I mean, I could always take the carpets out and just put kind of my own stuff down or whatever. I'm not sure yet, but yeah, definitely pretty stained up. Just so much weird like oils and like dirt and everything. Like, just crazy how cars become this after so many years. But yeah, fun doing the vacuuming, shop vac, getting a lot of the stuff out. But now let's try and get the steering wheel off. I'm pretty sure there's two Torx kind of screws on the back of the steering wheel here. The key's still in ignition, so if I really need to, I can turn the wheel around everywhere, and then we'll probably take off the hub at some point too. We'll eventually put, I think Momo makes a hub for this as well, and then we'll mount one of our wheels on there. So we'll see how that goes. Hopefully it doesn't take as long as the seats did, and then we can start kind of finding our way here on how we're gonna do this dashboard. Look at all the stuff underneath though, guys. Like, that's so crazy. That's so old school, I guess you can say, or just like so weird. All the relays in there, HVAC stuff, the blower motor, the heater core or whatever it is, that's gonna come out too as well, one step at a time. This looks like some sort of antenna, but yeah, we'll see how it goes. So we're just working on getting this wheel out here now. Took me a while to figure out what Torx bit it was. The T30, of course. Just getting the airbag off one step at a time. It's always a pain. Definitely doing anything with Torx bits, but I thought the Volkswagen was bad. But just, there we go. Perfect. So take a look. Oh, sorry, you guys got my hand there. Nice. So there's our steering wheel, at least the airbag portion, as it falls off and takes my little jar or cup of bolts here off. There we go. Nice. I gotta move this piece of glass as well before I break it. I can already feel it, that it's gonna happen at some point. But yes, guys, so there we go. And again, like, we're gonna try to tailor this channel towards like you guys just watching my build instead of teaching everyone. But yeah, anytime you do any sort of airbag stuff or steering wheel stuff, just make sure the battery is unplugged and let it unplug for a while. Of course, That's the sensor right there. So we're going to be tracing all this stuff too as well into the engine bay and find out where all the airbags are. Obviously, I don't think this car has any on the sides compared to the new cars, but you may have one here. There might be one in there too, I'm not sure. Usually there's a logo or something on the dash, but the dash is actually really clean. I will say that for sure. And I love the cluster here. I think I talked about that in the first video, but yeah, so this is awesome. Now that we have the airbag off, we can just take this screw off here, and then that looks like probably a 17 mil, maybe a bit bigger. We'll be able to take off the actual wheel, and then usually with most of these old wheels, I try to actually keep them in like a nice bag. Probably bring in the basement. I have the RX-7 wheel in there. Picked up a really nice wheel for the Acura as well. I got a good deal on that. You guys can't see it, but it's sitting on top of the RX-7. Yeah, but try to keep these in good shape. This one's actually not too bad. I mean, there's no tears on it. Very light, kind of worn type of feel on the side here. This is probably from the sun, actually, more than likely with the sunshine. As you guys can see on this side, it's not too bad. But yeah, so I'm going to take the rest of this wheel off here and then start finding all my 10 mils on the bottom. We have this big kind of, I don't know what that is actually. Kind of weird. Part of the support structure, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, we'll start getting on those as well. At least we have the airbag off. And again, I'm going to keep this one safe too. Most of the derby cars, I end up just kind of using it as my gas tank protector. But yeah, pretty good. Pretty happy I finally got this off. So pretty basic. Again, 18 mil here with the breaker bar to start. We had this hard all the way over, and I will admit with the B&E quick steer kit that one of our buddies already installed for us, there's a lot of angle in the front, guys, which is pretty awesome. But yeah, continue on here just to take the wheel off, and then hopefully this thing pops off. Probably have to grab the rubber mallet, start beating and banging on it. But yeah, we'll see how it goes. Hopefully this clock spring doesn't fly out at me. Just a little bit of red Loctite on that. Make sure we keep this. We're going to need this for the hub, obviously. Oh, it's a little loose. Slowly but surely. There we go. So there's the clock spring actually zeroing itself back out, just because we had the wheel cranked all the way to the left to lock it. That way we were able to actually crack the nut on it, just because the ignition still thinks that the car is in drive, just because the transmission's out and all the wiring's kind of all messed up with it. So it won't actually allow me to take the key out, which I don't mind right now, just because it was nice and easy to steer and push when we're trying to get on the driveway. But yeah, I'll probably end up either deleting the entire ignition system here, or at least using the wires, and then again when we do our switch panel and stuff like that, we'll probably work on getting that all set up. That way I don't have to use a key. The only way I'll use it is if I need the actual column to unlock itself. But yeah, at least we got the wheel out. And now, again, let's put this back here just for now. There we go. Let's remove the wiper arm here. We already went ahead and did the signal arm here, as well as the actual ignition. So I'm gonna have to read up on the wiring to see what's what here. This is gonna be key. Make sure we don't cut this thing, guys. But yeah, take off this arm, and at least we have kind of a clearer shot. I can already see a couple more Torx bits down in the dash there. This trim pops off too as well. And yeah, we have a couple more 10 mils around here as well. So I'm just gonna start firing them off. Continuing on with our 1990 Volvo station wagon drift build. Alrighty, so I got the arm off now. I just put pretty much all the little T20 Torx bits and these little red flat screws right here. This is for the ignition again, and the wiper arm, as well as the signal arm there. But as I go along with starting to remove the dashboard here too, I'm gonna try to remember where everything goes. Again, my goal is to at least put the dashboard back on. Now, I might not have the bottom portion here all this. I don't know, I might put some custom gauges here or something. I'm not sure what I'm going to do yet, but I want to be able to at least mount the dash again. That's like the main goal. And at this point too, as I get deeper and deeper into it, as far as all the switches go and stuff like that, this is where I have to start kind of understanding what's going on with the wiring. Even though we're going to do a lot more standalone type stuff, there might be the odd stuff that I still want to keep. So I'm debating on, you know what I mean, the hazards, stuff like that. That would be a lot more useful in the track, headlights, all that jazz. It's definitely going to get a lot interesting. This is pretty much the point of no return for doing this, I guess you can say. Obviously the thing's still on there, but yeah, I'm going to start off with these T30s, I think they are, just on the other side here, underneath, or I guess you can say behind where the wheel was. And then again, this little structure thing down here, just a bunch of 10 mils. Okay, so just undid some of the shifting stuff here. Just trying to get this plate off. Oh, my legs. But now, this everything right here, the whole radio setup can come out now. And again, I can see all the wiring behind here. I don't need any of this stuff, obviously, for the radio. Might try to sell that. Might try to sell this as well. It's actually in pretty good shape. Even has the little slidey piece to let you know what gear you're in. Pretty cool. But yeah, definitely, what a heavy unit too this thing is. There we go, guys. Look how much wiring that just exposed. Now this is probably a good time to, if you guys are ever doing your first engine swap, this is my second one, somewhat. This is like a legit swap, whereas the first one I did was with the iRock, put in a different motor, an ignition system in there. But good idea right now too, to probably label some of the stuff. So I'm going to probably try to label this, the radio, as well as the little orange and black wires down there. That was for the cigarette lighter. And then we have, this is the antenna right there. So that's the antenna for the radio. And then this is the jack here as well. So but yeah, as you guys can see, I got the flashlight going here. So I'm probably going to end this part of the video right now, and then I'll bring you guys back in. So it's the next day here, guys. I took off this knee thing here. I can see why there's duct tape on it. Sliced your fingers off pretty quick. But yeah, airbag there. And again, I showed you guys the one wire that's kind of burned in there. And again, we're gonna try and start taking off the dash. I'm gonna try and start on this side. So again, as I go here, I'm just kind of learning. There is info online too, but yeah, not like the best. So we'll see how this goes today. Slow and steady. There's so much wires for sure. I'm gonna start tracing them eventually. Once I get the dash off, start tracing the wires in here. So for example, so this is the window switch right here that I'll probably, I'm not sure yet what I'm gonna do with them, if I'm gonna keep them. Yeah, the locks, I'm not sure yet. Either speakers. I don't think there's any speakers in here. I know there's a couple up here that I'm gonna have to work out. But yeah, and this is part of the motor harness. So I actually have to give this back to the owner of this car at some point. I gotta take this off. Everything for motor related is on this side of the engine. This is just a connector for the door. So all the stereo stuff and everything in there. And the locks and whatnot will go into that. And then the blower motor, yeah, I'm not sure what I'm gonna do. I kind of want to just take it all out, honestly. I know some people are saying, like, with the rain too, if I do a rain day, might want to have the heat so I don't have the fogging. But I've seen a couple setups that I can pretty much just make on my own from Summit Racing and stuff like that. If I do go out on a rain day, we'll see. But yeah, definitely want to take all this stuff out and minimize as much stuff as possible. And then I still have all the wiring underneath here. I gotta take out shifter, so that's pretty much good to go. It's just the linkage at the bottom there. I couldn't really see much of it last night, just to see what we got now. It's underneath there somewhere, but we'll get this thing off too as well. And then I have a couple guys that want some parts already too, which is nice, so I'll try to see if I can help them out. But yeah, let's continue on with taking the dash out. Nice. There's a bunch of switches in there. Heated mirrors, don't need those anymore. Ventilation, don't need that. I don't know what this little circle, what this little button is though. I mean, I could probably wire that for something funny, but we also have the hazard lights here as well. And then that just exposed everything here for the heat controls, which is actually in really good shape. I might keep those on the side, maybe sell them. See how that goes? That looks like a T10 and a couple Phillips screws. Just so you guys can get a look at it right there. Pretty basic. And then I just popped off these tabs for these T20s, which will take the glove box out. A bunch of random stuff in there. The ownership is actually sitting right here. So that's pretty cool and very good to know that I have that. Alrighty, well, the glove box is gone now. I just tossed it in the back over there. I was gonna keep it. I still might, I'm not sure. I was pretty much planning to put the Terminator X, which is, I mean, the goal for the ECU system for the car. Like, I'm not gonna lie, between the adapter kit and the ECU, like, I'm looking at like 6 grand Canadian, which is pretty heavy duty for these times right now. Yeah, but we'll see how that goes. If not, I mean, once I take this off, I plan on hopefully running all the engine wiring up through here, which is where the stock wiring for the engine was, like this side right here. So this is the stock connector for the engine ECU, which would have mounted right there. So I'm hoping to do that. I might make some sort of like ABS plastic kind of sheet thing or something that I can maybe mount that on. We'll see how it goes, but you guys get the idea again about the whole half dash thing. I want to see if this thing comes off too. I can work with that, but a lot of wiring right here. This is just for the light in the glove box. I don't need that anymore. Some stuff back here that I have to take a look at. This is all the heating controls, which I don't need much of that, obviously. That one, I don't know what that is. I have to take a look at it, kind of trace everything back with these relays. But at least the glove box is off. Well, there's the heating controls, the whole module right there. Very basic kind of connection system. These clips on the inside here, as I sit down. And again, some stuff is color coded. Same thing with this section right here. We had the whole heated mirrors, which is that one. There was a little dome light to light up the gauges at night, plus the hazard markings here as well, which was nice to have everything all kind of together. I just left everything, I think it's over there. Oh, here it is right here. So left everything in the same spot, just so I know when I trace the wiring. Probably be a good idea to label it too. But at least these are a different color, and they should correspond with everything in here. So if you take a look, similar to what the airbag system would be. So this is orange, obviously. If you take a look inside here, you can see the orange wiring that would go into the firewall to all the sensors at the front. Pretty much every car has that kind of set up. Usually, actually, yellow is what most airbag or what most companies use for airbags, which, so I find it weird that Volvo's doing orange here, but c'est la vie, as they say. At least that this is out, exposing a little bit more of the trim. This little chrome piece wraps all the way around, that can come off as well. And then you can see there's like little Phillips screws kind of hidden away. I'm still really curious to see what this burnt wire, this is the wire I showed you guys the last part of the video last night. I want to know what that is from. It's probably, I don't know, maybe a ground got loose or something arced, or who knows, maybe something took a bite out of it. This is where it was, and it was in one of these relays, so I'm pretty curious to see what that is. We'll find out as we go. Should come right out. Oh, beautiful. All in one piece too. I made a couple small parts. Again, I think that was from someone in the past that took this off. Oh boy. Yeah, you can see those. So there's the bolts right there, or sorry, the Phillips screws that are made to hold this onto there. But yeah, you can see this thing's been broken a couple times. This one right here especially. Oh well, it is what it is. It's off, that's all that matters. I mean, it will go back in. I can still mount it in there somehow with the other bolts. Alrighty, so big moment of truth here. A lot of wires at the back here. I'm just trying to take note of what we got. Yeah, so this guy right here just pops off. This is some sort of strip. I'm not sure what that's for. Same thing with this one. This yellow guy goes here. This one, oh, gonna be a little toughy to, doesn't help. I don't really like wearing gloves, especially these good old surgery gloves, but my hands take a beating doing this type of stuff. But yeah, let me get all this stuff out here, guys. I mean, again, everything's pretty much sized accordingly. There's not one in there, so I don't know what that one's from. But yeah, let me get this thing off right here, and then we can take a final look, I guess, before we kind of end this video. Just the final couple pieces here. There's a lot of little lights. So all these little black knobs here are the lights. We got the boost gauge. So that's the mechanical boost gauge right here. Still in good shape after 33 years. Oh my gosh, the rest of the dash, not so much. Definitely need a vacuum. There's so much crap in there. And then just got to get this little guy off as well. But pretty cool. This reminds me of the iRock from back in the day, like all these little kind of circuits running around, as well as the light bulbs. I mean, I guess if you're a Volvo guy and you want to do LED conversions, this is probably the best way to start. Boom, that's off. I scratched. Oh, the surface a bit. I'll probably have to sand that down. I'm sure there's a way I can do that. Yeah, guys, there we go. Takes care of a lot more of our stuff here. Definitely a lot of progress for sure the past couple days. Just trying to grab a seat at the back. Oh, there we go. Whoa, I'll be losing that. There we go. Look at that. Holy cow. So as you guys can see, a lot has been taken out, but again, mostly just plug and play stuff. This is where it really starts to get pretty hard and stressful. HVAC pipes, all the wiring. There's so much electrical tape in there too. Yeah, if I can get the dash off without having to do any crazy wiring stuff, that'd be ideal, because then I can kind of follow everything along and see where everything goes. But anyways, guys, yes, I'm gonna probably end the video on this note here, just because, yeah, I try to keep these videos a little bit shorter, and it's been like a day or two of me going in and out of here, so I do appreciate it. Gotta go inside and work on the FC quickly. Small stuff too. If you guys are on Instagram, you guys will probably see the new wheel. If it does work, we'll see. But in the meantime, guys, thank you so much for watching another video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment on it, as always. And MaxTac Motorsports on Instagram. Give me a follow. Send me your car so I can feature it. All that jazz you guys already know. In the meantime, guys, take care, and looking forward to our next episode.